On today's show, how did Grindelwald do at the box office? Deadpool is rated PG-13 and has a trailer, as does everybody's favorite guitar-playing six-pack merfolk person, Aquaman. Movie talk starting right now. It's the last Aquaman trailer.
The final one.
Enjoy it. Enjoy it while it lasts. It's the last one we're ever going to get for the first Aquaman movie. Probably, but we're also going to talk about the 30-second spots, all that good stuff. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Collider Movie Talk. Hope you had a great weekend. I am merely Mark Ellis. I am unimportant. Who is that young man? Mark Yodi Reilly. And over there, Dennis Tzeng, the OG, the returning favorite. How are you, Dennis?
Good. I noticed you didn't say young man over here because, I'm an elder statesman of this place.
Yeah, but I mean, look, the movie talk years, it's kind of like the running back years, you know? Like in normal walks of life, you're in the prime of your life. But for movie talk, boy, does this job, you leave it like a president exiting service. Mark Reilly, you look fresh as a daisy on the other hand.
Wow, thank you. I'm actually really tired.
Yeah,
and
well, why are you tired?
Very tired. I had a memorial service last night, and we celebrated with a lot of what's the word? Drinks. Lots of drinks.
There you go.
Celebrating my LA mom.
Did a little bit of that ourselves on Saturday night, celebrating something on a happier occasion. Perry Nemiroff's birthday. We went out for a bunch of drinks. Saw you gentlemen there, a lot of other people. So Perry Nemiroff is already off for Thanksgiving because when you're Perry Nemiroff, you can call those kind of shots. So wishing Perry and all of her family the best, and we wish all of you the best for this upcoming Thanksgiving week. We are going to be doing 3 movie talk shows this week. Actually, no, I think we're doing a full 4. We're even doing one on Thanksgiving just for y'all. So movie talk, normal schedule. If you're hanging out with your family, if you're going to be like me and you get your Thanksgiving dinner at Carl's Jr., you can enjoy 4 movie talks this very week. And something I teased on my social media coming up a little bit later on in the show. I got some tour dates to announce I'm very excited about. You can grab tickets in just about 10 minutes. But before we get to all that, it is time for the weekend that was at the movie theaters. That's the box office report and Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald. Mark Reilly, so many people were talking about this movie, whether they really appreciated what it did for Harry Potter or they just liked the movie, whether it confused the hell out of people. I'm in that camp. And how it was going to do at the box office. And Crimes of Grindelwald came out $62 million domestically opening weekend. I'll point out to everybody out there, $62 million may not sound like Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows numbers, but keep in mind the first Fantastic Beasts worldwide did well over $800 million, and domestically I think it cracked $200 million fairly easily. So $62 million, that's followed by The Grinch in second place, which is the big story of the weekend to me. That's $38 million. So it's already close to 130 domestically. The Grinch has staying power. Bohemian Rhapsody, $15.7 million in a number of weeks of release. Instant Family debuting at $14.7 million. Rounding out the top 5, Widows, $12.3 million. That's also in wide release for its very first weekend. So, Mark Reilly, I'm talking about The Grinch. I'm talking about Fantastic Beasts. What do you think is the big story at the box office?
Well, I mean, it is Grindelwald because it's the lowest opening for a Harry Potter franchise movie, right? I think a lot of people see that. Haven't seen the movie yet, but the reviews are not good, right?
Is that why you haven't seen the movie?
That's exactly why. I'm not kidding you. I did not rush out to this thing because Friday night came around and I looked to my fiance and I said, we want to see Crimes of Grindelwald,
and
right?
She does want to see it.
She does want to see it. And she goes, yeah, I really, really want to see it, but is it... what are people saying? I'm like, not good. She's like, all right, we'll go another time. Let's stay in. Okay. And we watched The Godfather instead.
It's a better movie.
It's a better movie. But I mean, I look to that and I'm wondering exactly where the franchise is going to head, if this will even crack 200 million at the domestic box office, this movie in particular. But I look at worldwide, I think it's pretty healthy. I think it's still a draw for audiences worldwide. So once we see the final tally with this movie, I think we can expect a Fantastic Beasts 3, and that's what I'm assuming. They want J.K. Rowling has 5 movies in her apparently. Maybe they can maybe they could do some rejiggering on this and go, okay, we heard it's very confusing. Maybe we'll try something better the next time. I don't know, but that's the one that really sticks out to me.
Yeah, Dennis, as far as Grindelwald's number goes, $62 million opening weekend, do you see that as what the movie would hope to make? Do you think that that's a disappointment for the folks in the wizarding world, or do you think it's actually a surprise number in a good way?
I think it's a disappointing number, at least domestically. I think worldwide it still made over $250 million. So yeah, sure, they're still going to make money with this thing, but no, it's Harry Potter, so they're expecting big things from this, and it's not really a big surprise. I mean, you had the first one come out, and it's coming off of the very popular Harry Potter franchise, and they had some high hopes for it, and it did pretty well, but a lot of people, including myself, weren't like, not that I didn't like it, it's just I thought it was okay, and so there's nothing for me to clamor to see. I haven't seen the second one either, and someone who is not like a super fan, like I enjoy the Harry Potter movies, I enjoy them, but outside of like the main characters, I can't tell you who's who and who does what and what spell is this and whatnot. So hearing that the second one is like delves even deeper into that stuff, there's like one of those points where you don't want to alienate like the casual movie going audience, right? You need that balance of where people can come in and watch it having not seen everything else before, maybe not read the books, like I never read any of the Harry Potter books, and I was fine with the movies, but it just seems like even the first one I got kind of I got lost in the lore and said, I don't know. And it's one of the things, I think J.K. Rowling's writing the screenplays, and she might just have this thing where because she's the creator and she knows this world so well, she assumes everyone else does and starts writing these things in there where maybe not the regular movie fan is going to get into. You
do wonder if it starts with that, if it starts with the actual creator just not being able to parse it for the mass audiences like they used to be able to. The first Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them opened domestically at $74 million, and we mentioned what a hit it was worldwide. So far be it from us Americans to be like, oh, well, this movie's now a bomb, or this is a dud, or this is a disappointment, because Dennis, you pointed out, $250 million globally, worldwide. It takes a lot more press and advertising to get a worldwide release like that. That's fair, but that's a good chunk of change. So you're not going to stop seeing Fantastic Beasts movies just because you may feel like somebody handed you a book thick with Russian and asked you to translate it. That's how I felt. Very, very confusing. So let's talk about the other big movies that were coming out this weekend. Instant Family, Widows. Y'all see happiness there with the studios. You see a little bit of a disappointment with 14 and $12 million number respectively. Dennis, what do you think of those?
I saw Widows last night and I enjoyed it. I don't think it was as good as I wanted it to be from the trailers. I think they were a little disappointed. I think they were looking for the teens for that and ended up doing what, 12, I think? 12 something?
12, yeah.
Yeah. But I can understand why. It's supposed to be this heist movie, but you can tell that it's filled with a lot of drama and like sad drama. So people aren't necessarily rushing out to see something like that. It's 2 hours and 10 minutes long. So you know what I mean? It's not like there's going to be this quick heist and whatnot. There's just a lot more involved with it. And some people are probably like, okay, I'm just going to skip that and go to something else.
Mark Reilly, first of all, I didn't know 12 is a teen, Dennis.
Oh, is it?
You don't say teen, but isn't it a teen?
Pre-tween. It's a pre-teen.
It's if you're talking about
it's a
human
tween.
beings,
they call it tween. They call it a tween.
When you're talking about a person, but if it's just a number, isn't it just the teens?
Well, 12 million just gives a little bit of lip, and then as they get a little older and hits the 13 million,
there it is. Because 12 million doesn't sound as good as 13.
Yeah. Right, there it is.
$14 million. So it made 12. And but the other movie did get to a teen was Instant Family. And again, that's a movie that I thought would maybe not do better because there's so much competition, but it's a movie that clearly they want to do well for holiday movies. It's got that holiday vibe, at least from watching the ads. I've not seen that movie yet. Mark Reilly, your take.
Well, with Instant Family, I'm hearing actually a lot of good buzz around it. It's gotten some great reviews. People said they really enjoy it. Jeff Snyder was like raving about it. And that trailer passed by me because I looked at it and I went, this looks like Daddy's Home 2.
Same director.
Same director. Yeah. So I'd had that feel, wasn't that into it, but now that I'm hearing some good things, it makes me want to see it. And I think audiences, that's kind of around where it's landed. The one that really stands out to me is Bohemian Rhapsody continuing to do well. I think it's now, what, 100 million domestic?
Over 100. It's like 120, I think.
120.
128 total.
And I saw it, enjoyed the hell out of it. I think it's a great movie, and I think the word of mouth continues to do well for this movie, that it's going to keep going. I wonder if, here's Thanksgiving, Grinch numbers, I'm wondering if that's going to go up a little bit, because that's, number 2 is nothing to shake a fist at, but we're right on that cusp. We're almost at Thanksgiving. Christmas, we understand. You're right there. You're like literally. You're like looking over the shoulder, waiting for that moment to like pounce. So when that does, when Thanksgiving is over and Black Friday happens, a lot of people go to the theaters. I wonder if these numbers, an uptick, Bohemian Rhapsody, Instant Family maybe, The Grinch for sure, and then Creed 2 is coming out. So I think a lot of people
Creed
are
2, Ralph Breaks the Internet is coming out. So
Robin Hood's going to bomb.
That's the next movie. You think Robin Hood is the one? Because not everybody, sorry kids, we don't all love you all equally. Robin Hood might be that film that just people are like, wait, haven't we seen enough Robin Hood? We want to see Ralph Break the Internet for sure. We want to take the kiddies and everybody to see that. Creed 2. Need I say more? Need this face say more about that movie? Oh, I love this. So I'm going to see the movie 9 times. I'm not even going to acknowledge my niece and my nephew until I see it at least 3 more times. 9 times. I will be absent from Robin Hood, perhaps.
I don't recall.
You think Robin Hood is the bad one?
I think Robin Hood definitely.
Box office-wise, yeah.
Box office-wise, I don't know how many times we've had a Robin Hood movie come out where they looked lackluster. This marketing campaign, too, I'm watching it on TV. The trailer actually came on the TV the other night, and I thought I was watching the trailer for, like, the fonts for, there's like, prepare yourself, the guy, you know, whatever it is. It looked like a DC movie. Like, it was like the Man of Steel font. And I'm like, what is this marketing campaign right now? And I kind of understand it, making Robin Hood look like a superhero. So we get a little grit, get a little action. But Robin Hood, I'm not hearing a lot of people, you know, clamor for this movie. They're seeing it. They're like, this trailer, I'm not really that into it. You could tell me otherwise. Like, who's excited for this movie? I haven't heard of any screenings. Are you seeing it? Like, what's like?
I got a couple screenings. I'm gonna try to see it tomorrow because I like the trailer, Dennis. I thought the trailer for Robin Hood was fine. I mean, I wasn't like waking up every morning like, when are we gonna get a new Robin Hood movie announced? But they announced it, and I like the people in it, and it's a story I could go see again and again. So I would like to check Robin Hood out at some point. I just feel like Robin Hood is positioning itself to be the backup movie. You know, Robin Hood is the movie that if you go to the theater and you didn't buy your tickets online, you say, what's playing? Creed 2, that's sold out. Oh, Ralph sold out. I guess we'll go see Robin Hood. Do you see it any differently than that?
No, not really, because Robin Hood is, like Reilly said, it's a story that we all know, and then it's been repeated many times. And there's a reason why they repeat Robin Hood and Three Musketeers, because they're known properties that they don't have to pay any money for. Yeah. So they just say like, oh, okay, we don't need to pay any licensing fees for this story. Let's just use this. It's just one of those things, though, you have to go above and beyond if the story has already been told before. And people probably were tired of hearing the story unless you bring something new. And I'm sure there's different things in this, but they haven't marketed it in a way that makes anyone clamor to go see it. I wasn't even sure when it came out. And now it's like, oh, it's coming out. Okay, yeah, cool. But I'm going to go see, I already seen Ralph Breaks the Internet, and I quite enjoyed that. I still need to see Creed 2.
Me too.
So
interested to see the international numbers for all the movies coming out this weekend to see what does well where. Bohemian Rhapsody, by the way, I think it's done like 250 million just overseas. So wow. Queen is a worldwide phenomenon as a band, and the movie has followed suit. One more topic I wanted to get into with my beloved panelists here today is that the Nutcracker in the Four Realms came in at number 6, $4.6 million. It's done a total of $43 million. And my question is about everybody's favorite corporate overlord, Mickey Mouse. Do they continue to do movies like Nutcracker in the Four Realms? Do you think that try to capture that holiday magic, or do you think that this is a Disney saying, you know what, it's not working like this, where we try to go a little too original with the property? We are going to stick with what's in the Disney wheelhouse from now on. I mean, does the lack of success of this movie, Dennis, change the vision that Disney have for its live action productions going forward?
Perhaps, especially with something like Alice in Wonderland. I mean, you had both of those. The first one, I think the first one actually did pretty well just based off the name, but I know critics didn't receive it very well.
Yeah, we were talking about that the other
week. The Alice movies do very well internationally, but for whatever reason, where the Nutcracker did not do that well.
And the second one, though, was not good, and it suffered. And then another movie like this, where they're taking an existing property and kind of putting their own spin to it. I think if the costs are still relatively low, they'll still keep doing these things because they know they can, with their streaming service coming out, they have a place to put this, right? Let's say it doesn't do that well. Guess what? They still have a property that they can stick on their streaming service that maybe some younger kids will want to watch. So it's one of those things where they might keep going with it at least for a little while.
That's a very interesting point you bring up, because the movie costs $120 million to make, Mark Reilly. It's barely making that back worldwide.
Yeah.
That's not even including the production or the press and advertising.
Yeah.
But Dennis makes an interesting point. Disney has a streaming service coming out. So maybe they're playing the long game, because you can have the Nutcracker and the Four Realms have movies forever on your streaming service. So maybe eventually they will reap the rewards of that. And that could be what they're looking at as far as just getting IP on their streaming service in the future.
Yeah, it's interesting. When you look at the Nutcracker, I wasn't kind of into it. I didn't, the story is not something that I've always gravitated to. So Disney, to answer your first question, Disney can go back to all of their cartoon movies that they made, their animated movies, and remake them for a live-action retelling. You know, all these, we talked about Dumbo last week, love the trailer. That's going to probably do very well. We have The Lion King, Aladdin. There's like Mulan coming out. There's a lot of movies in that wheelhouse. Of course, they have their Star Wars. Of course, they have their Marvel. Nutcracker, to me, looked like perfect for the streaming service if we had the streaming service then.
Already. Yeah.
You know what I mean? If that was already out, it would be like Nutcracker is going straight to streaming service like Lady and the Tramp remake live action is doing. So I'm like, that's maybe why it's not, I don't know. It's not doing well. I don't think there are a lot of people that, you know, want a Nutcracker story. Maybe it's because of this Robin Hood conversation we're having. Everybody knows it, but it had that Disney kind of, you know, flair to it. It looked like a Disney movie. Audiences, though, are making up their mind. Maybe it'll get an uptick for all the reasons I was saying with Grinch, and, you know, maybe this weekend people will go, we do want holidays now. Okay, now you can come in Christmas. Here's the Nutcracker. I don't know. I'm not interested in that movie. The reviews aren't great either. So
I'm going to push back on you a little bit. First of all, I like the Nutcracker against all odds.
Really?
I did enjoy it, but like I know the story of Robin Hood. I think people know the story of Robin Hood. He robbed from the rich, gave to the poor. I have no idea what the hell the Nutcracker's about. I've heard of it. I know it's a ballet, but what's the movie about?
Yeah.
Your guess is as good. The Four Realms. Never heard of them before. What are they?
Well, there's the Four Realms.
There's Eternia from He-Man.
Yeah, Eternia. The Fantasia is another realm. Tatooine is another, and I believe what is it? Ragnarok
from Mortal Kombat.
Oh, damn it!
Or Ragnarok. Yeah. Our message is don't do drugs, kids. We move on to our next story, which is taking an R-rated movie that could have a lot of sex, drugs, and violence and making it PG-13, a little more kid and family friendly, and that would be none other than Deadpool himself. That's right. We've been reporting on this story the last month or so that Deadpool is going to be re-released in theaters just in time for Christmas season. They're going to be donating $1 of every ticket for the re-release to F Cancer, which is being renamed Fudge Cancer, because Deadpool's being re-rated. PG-13, Deadpool 2, I should say. They're taking a lot of stuff out, obviously all the F words, that stuff. They recut some of the movie, and they also had a interesting framing device which gets revealed in a new trailer that it's a minute long, and it's really funny, and I enjoyed it. And look, there's been a lot of talk about, is Deadpool 2 re-releasing in theaters really for Christmas, really just for PG-13, or is it so that it can also be released overseas in markets where they won't allow an R-rated release? Reilly, look, people need to make money at the end of the day. So if you're making money but you're entertaining me along the way, I'm a pretty easy buy. I'm buying a ticket to see this.
I am too, for all those reasons. I love the framing device. It's the Princess Bride. We know that. We love Fred Savage coming in there.
Adult Fred Savage.
Adult Fred Savage. Yeah. And then that bit with Marvel and being licensed was hysterical. That was the funniest part. So if you're getting that humor in there, then that new thing with like, you know, oh, I've seen Up. It doesn't end well for you guys. That was great as well. I love the charity that they're going to put money towards. I think that's great.
Yep.
Yeah, make more money if you can in overseas markets by making it PG-13. Why not? You know, I love the character of Deadpool. I love both movies. A PG-13 one, going to charity, getting overseas, getting some more action, getting some more love for Deadpool. Because I would, and with this Fox deal happening, Fox Disney, the big question mark is, will they make a Deadpool 3 or an X-Force movie? Will they keep it R-rated? I don't necessarily think this PG-13 thing is anything to worry about, that this is Disney now like going, okay, we're watching, because the movie's already come out. We already know what the movie's all about.
Right.
You're still not going to, you know, really surprise me with, you know, Fred Savage in there, because I know the story beats of this whole movie. I just think it's kind of a great thing to get, like I said, the charity, and then overseas, we'll see what happens. I don't think it's going to do great, but I think it's an option.
It's an option, Dennis, and it's a really fun option, in my opinion, during the holiday season, where there are going to be a bevy of movies that you may want to see that are first-run films coming out. You got Into the Spider-Verse coming out December 14th. You have Mortal Engines, if people are interested in that. Then you get that triumvirate of just heavy hitters around Christmas time. You get Bumblebee, get Mary Poppins Returns, Aquaman, which we'll talk about a little later on in the show, even the Holmes and Watson movie with the Step Brothers in it. Oh, yeah. So there's a lot of options. Do you think Deadpool 2 is a viable one for people who may not be sure why it's PG-13?
It's tough because I actually love the trailer. It's just more of being able to sell people that there's enough new stuff in there, that it's not just the one we already seen recut down to PG-13. If they're, even seeing this trailer, I know we had talked about and heard about this thing for a while. I actually didn't know that they were going to have like this Princess Bride retelling of it. That's what interests me most. If there's new stuff, new footage, new framing device for it, that makes it more interesting. But I'm just not sure if just the movie alone cut down to PG-13 is enough, because even though it's rated R, you would expect a lot of people who weren't 17 probably saw this movie already, and so they don't necessarily need to see that movie again, PG-13 style.
Did this trailer, in its minute and 7-second glory, I think, sell y'all on we're going to see enough new things in here to get my money at the box office? Because that's really the ultimate goal of this. It made us laugh online, sure, and we're talking about Deadpool today, but did it get your money?
Not for the box office. Maybe a rental or to watch it. Yeah, I don't think it's going to get me into, though, to be fair, I have the AMC A-list now. So there's a lot of things like, okay, like for example, something like Instant Family, right? I heard good things, not necessarily a movie that I would pay the full whatever, and it's very expensive here in LA. $14 is it now? Yeah. But if I use it as one of my AMC A-list things, sure.
Yeah, Reilly, as you know as well as I do, tough to go to a screening with Dennis. Every time you walk into an AMC, they're throwing rose petals at his feet. They carry him in. They play the trumpets. It's a big to do.
The lifting up on the chair one was really fun when he walked in, and they're like going around doing like
and
the Greek wedding.
And then cheering me with all the alcohol.
Really fun. If I'm going to be honest about this, it's not going to get my box office dollar because of how many movies are out there that I do want to see that I've missed at press screenings, like Ralph Breaks the Internet, like Creed 2. Instant Family has got my ear now. I'm like, wait a minute, a lot of people like this. I would say The Grinch would even get in there because I love a good Christmas movie. Crimes of Grindelwald, I do want to see. I am going to go finally see that. That's probably going to be the next one I do go see and put money down. But then you have your Bumblebee and your Aquaman, your Mary Poppins Returns is coming. There's all these movies. The Vice is coming out, which is starting to get some really great early buzz. These are all the movies I want to see because like I said, I know what Deadpool 2 movie is. I know the story beats. So adding a few things in there like Fred Savage, like, that Up reference and whatever else they're going to throw in, yeah, that might be a rental for me.
Let me ask you guys a question. So I've been stuck in the Old West playing Red Dead Redemption 2.
You and everybody else.
For the last few weeks. So I don't know much about this Grinch movie that just came out. Like, what is it compared to the one that Jim Carrey had done before? Is this like a sequel, a reboot?
This is an animated movie. It's from Illumination Entertainment. So it's basically a retelling of the classic animated 30-minute. It's hard to go back and that initial. It's 30 minutes long. And it just feels like it just feels like it went on all day in a good way. Because I love Boris Karloff, I love the Grinch, I love the music. So it's basically that updated for a modern era. So they inject it with some new songs. Pharrell Williams narrates it. Benedict Cumberbatch does the voiceover. If you've seen the Grinch, there's very little new here. I appreciate them adding that to the mythology.
So it's a new paint. It's new paint on a.
It's new paint. I like the car. So if you paint it again, I'm going to enjoy it. I like a good Christmas movie. I like a good romantic comedy movie, and Love Actually is not great at either one of those. Yes, I said it.
Whoa.
Shots fired.
Whoa.
Shots fired.
Whoa. This is the season of giving here, and you just gave us a hot take. What the hell is that?
That's why you and I don't share. This is why me and Mark Reilly do not share turkey on Thanksgiving because of our feelings on Love Actually.
Yeah, and I don't like Carl's Jr. So
before we move, everybody likes Carl's Jr. Just go back. If you haven't had it in a while, go back for the first time. this whole Deadpool PG-13 thing, we've had reports that Disney's looking at it closely, and a lot of people are just concerned, and I don't find any reason to be concerned, but because Deadpool breaks the fourth wall so much that he would never fit in the world of the MCU. If I need to point out again, I watched Thor Ragnarok last night because I watch Thor Ragnarok from time to time.
I love that
Thor
movie.
breaks the fourth wall at the beginning of the movie, and we're all still here talking about it. So it can't be that tough of a thing, right?
Yeah. No, it's, you know, who knows really what they're going to do with. It'd be great to see Deadpool show up in the MCU, but it doesn't fit. Yeah. Sure, Thor breaks the fourth wall, but he's kind of narrating. He's kind of, you know, so
he's
it's
looking
not.
at the key. He's talking to the.
Wasn't talking to the kid, was he?
He's talking to us.
He's talking to us. Yeah.
You wonder how I got in this situation. Oh, Thor, like he's
right. Yeah, but it's
the
like
fourth wall was broken.
Yeah. I'll agree
it wasn't
with that.
fractured. It was broken. And as Redskins fan, I know the difference today. Love you, Alex Smith.
So I really wonder what they can do with Deadpool if it's in Disney. Like, I would personally, for me, this would be my version of it. You keep it the way it is, because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Do it R-rated. Make your X-Force movie. Make it all in there. You can, because I think we're all looking at Fantastic Four and X-Men. Those are the ones you want to appear in the MCU. But then Deadpool, God, it would be great. Maybe he shows up in a post-credit scene. I don't know. That's an interesting question. People with higher pay grade than me can figure that out.
It's just a matter of if you can use your sense of humor for the task at hand. And I trust the sense of humor, certainly of Deadpool, Dennis, and I trust the sense of humor of the MCU to be able to do the fourth wall stuff and not ruin the MCU.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also there's like a lot of silliness that goes on with Deadpool in his own movies, that not just breaking the fourth wall, just like, you know, a lot of crazy stuff that happens to him that you just like, yeah, well, it's fine. It's a Deadpool movie. That part doesn't really need to make sense, you know? So I'm wondering if they can fit that part into the MCU.
Just thinking like the end of Infinity War, you know, like when there's that huge battle in Wakanda,
and he just shows up.
Deadpool shows up. It would have been. He breaks the fourth wall. He's like, "Why is there a raccoon next to me?" Yeah. I don't know. I'm not writing it. I'm just saying.
And grabs the gauntlet, uses it for himself.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
I mean, they made they did the cameo with the X-Men in Deadpool 2, and that really worked. So, and there was that it was a great moment. So maybe they can do it. There's something about Deadpool. Like looking at Thanos with the gauntlet, it just that just makes me smile.
Yeah, well,
I don't know how they can do it though.
A lot of people are going to be smiling looking at that gauntlet next week when we have our Infinity War screening. That's right, Collider's putting one on, hosted by Stephen Frosty Weintraub, and he is going to be having an exclusive Q&A with the Russo brothers immediately after the movie. This all goes down in Los Angeles, November 28th at ArcLight Cinemas in Hollywood. If you, the person, I'm breaking the fourth wall right now. If you are going to be in the Los Angeles area around November 28th, you should go to this, and you're going to get your chance to. Just head to Collider.com right now for all of the details. This is not to be missed. It's going to be, they're going to run the whole movie, like they'd run like 20 minutes of it. You've seen the movie. Now you get to see it again, and the glorious, I think it's in the Cinerama Dome, which is an awesome place to see a movie, much less Avengers Infinity War. I mean, come on, folks. So you go see that. You hear Thor call Rocket Sweet Rabbit. You get to the end of the movie, and then they'll do a Q&A. And Frosty is great at getting people to talk during Q&As. I don't know if the Russo brothers have anything to reveal. I'm not saying they're going to reveal anything. I just know Frosty. I know the Russo brothers. They finished production on another movie, or they at least finished shooting it. There's a lot that they could talk about. Will they? I'm not sure.
Listen, there is a rumor out there that Avengers 4 trailer could drop Friday, I heard. It's like that everybody's reporting on. It's like one guy
why do you
Twitter.
Do this to me?
What if?
Why do you do? Now I got to be online the rest of this week.
So what if that trailer drops?
Okay.
And we see the trailer, and then we go and see Infinity War, and the Russos come out.
And they answer,
something to talk about.
And they answer a lot of questions.
They can answer some questions.
Certainly
with
would
more
be
questions.
Something to talk about. They'll talk about that on Wednesday, and we'll talk about that on Movie Talk the following Monday after it drops on Black Friday. Can you imagine dropping on Black? Like, people don't have enough to worry about running into Best Buy, trying not to trample each other, and they're watching the Infinity War trailer on their phone. It's going to be madness.
Remember, they dropped The Force Awakens on that Black Friday.
Yes, they did.
The very first look at it, so...
I
don't know.
You know, to remind me, I watched it at the Charlotte airport 30 times and cried. Each and every time. Well, if you like crying, Probably not going to happen in my comedy shows unless you're really disappointed in my performance. Or maybe you laugh so hard you get some tears. I'm doing stand-up in 2019. Yes, I renewed my contract for another year with the Comedy Gods. And I got some tour dates to announce right here and now. New York City, January 25th. Going to be at New York Comedy Club, the Village location. That's going to be a whole lot of fun. Then Phoenix, February 1st. I got Pub Rock Theater. I was going to be doing a theater in Phoenix, 2 shows there and 2 shows in Chicago, April 12th at Reggie's Rock Club. Heard it's an awesome venue. It's right next to the convention center where they happen to be doing Star Wars Celebration that same weekend. So come on out and see me that Friday and get tickets at markellislive.com right now. Hot off the press. Go grab them before they sell out. And I want to give a shout out to the Collider Sports Time team. You can check out Collider Sports Time this morning, where they talked about all the weekend that was in the world of sports, particularly the NFL, and particularly my Washington Redskins, who I still believe in. All the best to Alex Smith. You're a gamer. You're going to get back. You're going to be fine. It is weird that Alex Smith broke his leg the same way Joe Theismann broke his leg 33 years ago to the day. The final score of yesterday's Redskins game, same final score as it was when Theismann broke his leg.
Jeez, that's some weirdness.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it anymore. We're going to move on to
I'm sorry for your
story
loss.
number 3, and that is the Aquaman final trailer. It's the last chance. You get to look at Aquaman. Besides all the publicity you're going to be seeing for the next month, then the movie comes out around Christmas. Jason Momoa stars as Aquaman, and some guy named Dolph Lundgren also pops up. So now you know I'm going to see the movie in theaters. This last trailer, Dennis, did this new last trailer, final one that we're ever going to see, did it sell you on the movie in a different way, or is it just more footage that you're pretty sure you've seen already?
No, actually it did, because the first, was it 2 that came out before this, that they were fine, but I found them to be, they tried to be a little too jokey with Aquaman jumping out of the airplane like, oh, redheads or whatever, you know, like that type of stuff, where this one had a more serious tone to it and talked more about his back history. They used more dramatic music for it instead of like rock music, and they showed a larger scope of all the undersea, Atlantis, and everything else. So to me, this actually was the best trailer so far. I'm glad they ended on this one, because this is kind of what I'm looking forward to when the movie comes out.
Yeah, I thought the effects looked as clean as they have in any of the trailers, Mark Riley. That was my big takeaway, is that they got picture lock, and now they're starting to get VFX lock with this movie, and I'm getting a little excited for it. I may know some people who may or may not have seen a portion of the film, and they had some good things to say. So take that for what it's worth. How do you take this trailer?
Yeah, this trailer was great. I got real excited with this trailer in particular, because I started to really notice the underwater stuff and like how the physics of underwater stuff with Atlanteans works. So like, you know, the battle that they're doing and seeing the motion underwater and how they move, I was like, well, that's great. And then the music's fantastic. It's the same composer from I think it's Henry Williams Gregson, who did Wonder Woman. So that music is really great. It really got me. But I got an Indiana Jones vibe to this thing as well. You know, they're looking for the Trident, and I love that bit where he's like, "Nah, I already got one," and that's the one that Bruce Wayne gives him in Justice League, and it's like, "No, you need the other one." So I love that. That's obviously the MacGuffin that's going to be the central thing that they're going after. Yeah, I liked everything about it. Now I'm real excited, where I wasn't that excited for all the other ones. This one got me.
Yeah, and Byrne in the comment section says the music in the trailer was epic. Got a comment from Mark Baum, and he says, God Loves, Man Kills is quite dark too. Agree with you there. And Andrew Valdez says, Khal Drogo versus Ivan Drago. So that's...
There we are.
Pay to see that movie on top of this movie. Yeah, I'm excited to see Aquaman. You know, I mean, I'm not shocked hearing myself say that anymore. As soon as Momoa was cast, I was like, yeah, I'm listening. I am the person that enjoyed Justice League, and I'm up for this movie. I liked how they're handling the underwater stuff. I know that was a big source of debate inside the halls of DC/Warner Brothers, how to rectify that situation. And then, of course, great white sharks.
Oh, yeah.
So they got your money already. Mark Riley, looking in your direction.
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, let's move on to our last story, and it's another trailer. But before we get to that, I'm going to remind you guys that we're going to save some time for your live Twitter questions. Go ahead and start tweeting us right now at Collider Video. Use the hashtag Collider Movie Talk if you please. Makes it easier for me to find all your sweet comments. And now to talk about the Keanu Reeves movie, excuse me, I read that wrong. Replicas. This is Replicas. Keanu Reeves defying the very laws of nature as we know it to create replicas. He's a scientist of some sort. And, you know, Dennis, when you have these people, didn't anybody see Jurassic Park? You can't play God and expect the results to just go exactly as you think, because maybe they didn't even go as he did or she did. So how do you think Keanu Reeves did in Replicas? Are you seeing this movie? Did this trailer get the Zen's money?
I mean, this is interesting because I remember last year for New York Comic Con, which we were partnered up with, we had covered a panel that Keanu Reeves had for it, and since that time, I haven't heard much about it, and they dropped this trailer now. It looks interesting. It almost looks like it could be almost like an indie sci-fi thing, depending on which way they want to go. If it's going to be more spectacle, or if they're gonna try and go more into the drama of it. I think it looks okay so far. Thomas Middleditch is in it from Silicon Valley, which I was surprised to see, but I guess he has time because Silicon Valley I don't think is coming back until 2020.
Whatever keeps that young man from making more Verizon commercials. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it, dude. You, the Sprint guy that used to be the Verizon guy, I get it. I got one. I got a provider. I'm going to ride it out for the rest of the year. Continue.
Yes. So yeah, I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna watch for more about this and to see what people say. Hopefully, we get a screening of this and see, if it actually can keep us interested.
Okay, you're interested. I don't sense an overwhelming amount of confidence from you, but my problem with this, Reilly, is that it feels. It's almost like I had a dream where I dreamt the entire plot of this movie because it is something that feels sci-fi and somewhat original, but it just feels like I've seen this before. Did you get that same sense watching this trailer?
Yeah, I kind of did. And then, I look at the release date, and I know that we're starting to move, and there's always outliers here.
January 11th, 2019, still not the best release date.
Still not the best release date. So when you have that...
We lost Dennis.
Yeah, Dennis is out.
Now I'm going out.
Yep. Because to your point, when you're telling me that last year, this time, they were showing a panel and maybe a little bit of footage, and then there was nothing, and then this comes out of nowhere, and then they go, oh, yeah, by the way, it's January 11th, 2019. And you're like, oh, no. But again, there are outliers. There are movies that have come out, like John Wick. When that movie was advertised, I was just like, oh, Keanu Reeves is in an action movie, whatever. It wasn't really that big of a deal to me. And then that movie hits and hits big. Maybe he's got it in him. Maybe this is it. But it doesn't look good when I think of they were pushing it at New York Comic Con last year, disappeared off the map. Now we get a January release date.
That's never a good sign.
It's never a good sign. To the concept, I like the idea of the concept. I mean, sure, cloning is not a new thing. I like the angle of he's bringing back his family. Like that, his family and kids.
Yeah, it was interesting that's the... And I wasn't even thinking about this when I made the Jurassic Park correlation, but if you've seen Jurassic Park Fallen Kingdom, there's more to the movie than dinosaurs and feels a lot like this movie.
Oh, shared universe. Maybe that's it. Maybe this is Jurassic Park, a little spin-off
Kids in your shared universes.
Isn't that the thing, though? Don't people like shared universe?
No? They used to until...
Now they're sick of it. Now everything's got to be standalone again. Can you guys remember a January release that really wowed you? I mean, I'm just going to go back to a couple years ago with Split came out
Split was
in January. Yeah, John Wick was the February, and it's like as soon as you hit February, we're ramping up into summer already.
I was late to the party on whatchamacallit? Split. I didn't see that until after it had already come out on Blu-ray and DVD, and I quite enjoyed it. So I didn't get that January surprise for me. I just had heard from everyone else oh man, that was good.
Did you have the movie spoiled for you before you saw it on Blu-ray?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which actually I didn't mind because actually I didn't really the twist at the very end was actually the weakest part for me. So
yeah, I mean, people after a while, it's like if you haven't seen Split, we're going to use this spoiler as a selling point to get you to go see it. It's like, oh, but this happened, so now you got to go watch the movie. So Taken came out in January.
Oh, Taken.
It's funny. I typed in. I used my thinking machine to type in best January movies. Not a lot came up. Orange County came up. It's a great movie that Cody Copster and I like. Typed in best January. The first word that came up afterward, vacations.
Best January vacations.
The best January vacations, apparently, the Canary Islands.
Okay.
And then number 2 is Silver Lake, Los Angeles.
Silver Lake, what?
Right down the street.
Hey, all right.
Going down to Los Globos Theater.
Yeah, there's nothing like
comedy.
There's nothing like Silver Lake in January, man. I gotta tell you.
In January, all the
It's what it. Yeah, that's random.
Silver Lake in January, Dennis. Nothing like it.
You can go to the chandelier tree.
Yeah,
that's always that always gets you.
Go to Silver Lake and watch somebody who probably is wearing clothing made out of hemp drink a Pabst Blue Ribbon. Ironically, a lot of fun down there in Silver Lake. All right, well that's what we have for you guys on. We talk as far as stories go, but now we get into the fun part with the live Twitter questions. Before we get there, I do want to remind everybody that we have a new Schmoedown dropping tomorrow. And that's not the only thing that's happening around the Collider Studios tomorrow. Mark Reilly, you're in charge of Collider Live. Got a very special guest coming into Collider Live. Has that been confirmed?
It has been confirmed. The director of Creed 2 is definitely coming in tomorrow. We got the email. I'm excited about that.
Stephen Capel Jr.
Stephen Capel Jr. So going to talk Creed. I'm going to be excited to be in the room for that one. Christian's excited, obviously. So that's going to be a good show. And we'll also preview some the rest of the December movies. What's going to be the biggest one? Is it going to be Bumblebee? Is it going to be Aquaman? What are we going to see? We're going to break that down. And Coy Jandrew is going to join us in Collider Live for that.
Oh, very nice. Yeah. Okay, so check all that stuff out on Collider Live. And Collider Live may not happen tomorrow. It's going to happen soon. There's going to be some interesting announcements. If you're watching the movie Trivia Schmoedown, you're following what's happening. There's going to be some announcements. Stay tuned. Keep your ear to the ground. Okay, live Twitter questions. Here we go. An old favorite, Phil Fang Foom.
There he is.
Saying, Detective Pikachu, do you think it'll be the best video game movie to have come out thus far?
Ever?
Does it have the chance?
I mean, yeah.
Cody says
yes.
You know, that's what happens with these wangers. You say their name on camera once, and they just think they're part of the show.
Yeah. They really do.
They chime in with everything. So Cody wants to see Detective Pikachu. He's a big Pokemon guy.
Yeah. I mean, I think the bar
caught them all.
The bar is pretty low right now when you say video game adaptation. I mean, you know, let's be real here. There hasn't been like one that's knocked our socks off. Everybody's looking at Assassin's Creed, hoping that Mortal Kombat, yes. Mortal Kombat, yes, that's the one. Yeah. That's the big. I take back everything I've said. The bar is very high.
Where were you on that
because
one, Cody?
Of Mortal Kombat. But hey, it's got all the hallmarks here. This Detective Pikachu, I enjoyed the hell out of that trailer, and I think because of the brand that is Pokemon, I think a lot of people are going to go see this thing. Let's see what critics say.
Yeah.
I mean, but who cares about critics? It's up to you guys, the audience.
From the trailer,
you're going to throw your money down.
They're treating the property with respect, and that's not just the video. I mean, that's everything that Pokemon encompasses, all of the lore, the mythology, the various iterations of it. They're doing with like that, Dennis. There's obviously Ryan Reynolds is a big star. There's a good casting across the board in that movie. It looks funny.
The thing is I'm not of the Pokemon generation, so I don't know the lore of it. And so when the trailer came out, I was like, why is Deadpool talking from this yellow creature? So I'm definitely not the target audience. Could it be the best video game ever? Sure, like you said, it's not, the bar isn't that high.
Mortal Kombat
withstanding. Yeah, so it could be, but yeah, it's not going to take much.
Okay. All right. Next up is Amy, Little Miss Shortcake. Hi, Amy. She's a super fan, and she wants to remind me and everybody out there that Eliza Schlesinger, my good buddy, is in Instant Family. You can go see her in theaters now. And she's also in another Mark Wahlberg movie, I believe, next year, Wonderland. So even bigger role. So keep your eyes open for Eliza. She's also got 4 great Netflix specials you can go check out at any time. And we're going to give both them a shout out. Jamie and Fuego, next up. And Jamie says, grabbing my tickets right now for that Phoenix area show. Thank you, Jamie. It's in Scottsdale. It's right next door. You're going to be fine. The question is, do you guys think that following Fantastic Beasts, following those prequels, we're going to get a proper version of Harry Potter and the Cursed Child? So Harry Potter and the Cursed Child is the novel been adapted into a very successful Broadway play. Tickets are impossible to get, but it's Harry Potter as an adult and the continuing events of that. I got to be honest with you. I was watching The Crimes of Grindelwald, and I'm sitting there in the theater, and I'm just like, just get me to that movie. Because, I mean, imagine seeing Harry Potter in the same way that when we saw Luke Skywalker back in this new trilogy and just being like, I never thought I'd see the day. How cool would, and I'm not that, I like the Harry Potter movies, but I'm not dying to see it. A lot of people are, Dennis, and I think that Harry Potter and the Cursed Child would do incredible box office if done right. I don't know what the story is though. So
I'm not too familiar with that. I've heard of it. I didn't know it was an older Harry Potter, but I'm down for it. That's like an old man Logan, old man Harry.
I think he's just. I mean, we say old Harry Potter. He's not a kid anymore. So I think he's probably like 30. I don't know what he's doing.
I don't know.
I don't know if he's got a job, family. I don't know how he pays his bills.
Yes, he has a family.
Okay.
And, he married Ginny Weasley, and Potterheads.
Is his kid the cursed child?
I don't know. I did not read
Hermione and Ron.
The Hermione.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hermione and Ron are married. Yeah, I don't know who the cursed child is. But to your point, yes, I never thought I'd see Luke Skywalker back on screen. And here's the thing: if the Fantastic Beasts franchise keeps going and doing even this is 253 million worldwide, and they keep going and they keep having a good box office run. No matter what happens with critics or whatnot, if we get back on track with the third movie, we're going to see Harry Potter sooner or later. I think they did do the play. I think that it's showing that J.K. Rowling is coming back and writing these screenplays for Fantastic Beasts. Why wouldn't she write a continuation or pick up with Harry Potter years down the line? Because once these end, I'm sure Warner Brothers wants to keep the Harry Potter franchise alive. What better way to do it than having another Harry Potter movie? Bring Daniel Radcliffe back. Bring everybody back, and let's see what's going on. It doesn't even have to be Cursed Child. It could be just a new adventure that we maybe see sooner or later. It's
inevitable. I think it has to be Cursed Child if that's still considered canon. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah, I think it is.
Whatever the current Harry Potter canon is, that's what they're going to need to do. But look, Harry Potter, again, we've been doing Star Wars for a while when it was sold and bought by Disney, and then they redid all the canon, all of that mythology. They're like, this is cool, this is now legend. Yeah. So that could happen with Harry Potter down the road. I don't know.
Yeah. But I'm thinking the opposite of you in terms of like the success. I'm thinking maybe the lack of success of Fantastic Beasts will drive them to go back to the well to Harry Potter instead of doing something completely new. That usually what happens with directors or actors or what, like Vin Diesel, right? He left the Fast and the Furious franchise. Mm-hmm. He said he wasn't going to do another one again. His career didn't really go the way he wanted to. He came back. That's how it always is, and that I don't think would be any different. I think if Fantastic Beasts ends up not doing as well as they wanted, they'll go back to Harry Potter.
Yeah. Would you all be up for seeing The Cursed Child in New York?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh,
you seem excited?
On stage?
Yeah. How much would you pay for like a premium Broadway show?
Oh,
how much is shelling out?
Well,
what do you do? 150, 200 a ticket?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I'd do 200 to see it. I'd go that high.
I hear Springsteen's getting up into like the...
I'm not a super Harry Potter fan, but I do like 150.
Yeah.
All right.
There's nothing like live theater.
Decent seats. I don't want the peanut gallery in the
If you're going to do it, you're going to do it right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, look, you guys spend your money on Broadway shows if you want. Me, I am vacationing in lovely Silver Lake come January. So I'm going to be spending the entire month of January.
So hard to do.
Well played.
In Silver Lake,
Did you get your airplane tickets? Did you book a hotel?
The flight leaves Burbank, lands at LAX.
Yeah.
And then I drive to Silver Lake. Thank you guys. So, Debbie Schechter, I love your Twitter question, so I screenshot it. If you want to tweet it again tomorrow, if you don't, I'll answer it tomorrow, but we're out of time today. So thank you. It's a great question about Spider-Man Far From Home. Talk about all that and more on tomorrow's Collider Movie Talk. I want to thank Mr. Mark, Yodi, Reilly, over there, Dennis Tzeng. Again, I'm merely Mark Ellis. You can get those tour dates, Twitter, Instagram, wherever you guys go, markellislive.com for tickets, and we'll see you tomorrow. Cody, let's throw it to the wide. Cody Hall. Hey everybody, Mark Ellis here. Thanks for watching this episode of Collider Movie Talk. You want to watch more? Then click up here, or you can click right here for more great content from Collider. And if you haven't subscribed to Collider Video, do so right now and share this vid with your friends. Thanks for watching.